People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you for watching and rocking each and every time. Now at this point, I believe my player ratings video, my general thoughts video, post-game review is out now. But I've got some extended thoughts with David Ceballos and Luiz making their home debuts, dare I say full debuts. Well, Luiz has played no other minutes for Arsenal. Obviously Ceballos came off the bench against Newcastle. Both for me, two of the first names on the team sheet for the game in relation to Liverpool to come up, which is a big one, our first clash against a top 6 rival this season. But I thought we might as well speak about, well, initially people, I was only going to speak about Luiz, but then I thought let me just add in a couple points about Ceballos. Now, this might not make sense at first, people. Let me put a keeper in. I've tried to make them yellow to highlight the point. A lot of you say it's egg when I do this. This is Luiz, and obviously we've got Ceballos. Now, one thing I like about them, and you can just say this is Pepe to highlight this one point I'm making. Arsenal, sorry people. First and foremost, Arsenal need to improve defensively. Our issues come down to game management, defending away from home, just downright defending, yeah. The fact that we improved our away clean sheets in one game this season tells you everything. That's not me criticising or anything, that's just a fact. That will make all the difference. Defence wins you titles, defence gets you top 4, defence makes all of that. Yeah, put that in a box for a sec, people, yeah. That's the priority. But I do think offensively there are issues. At times, when it doesn't matter what context, when it comes to, if we're, for instance, there's been times, it's been 0-0, we've played against a team that have not come to the Emirates, in particular, to win. We don't really try and break them down. It's sideways passes, and obviously the longer that goes on, fans get nervous, and that plays into the opposition because they've been working all week of staying compact and being drilled and whatnot. They're expecting Arsenal players to play them eye-of-the-needle passes, which we do, but 9 times out of 10, if it's in front of you people, that allows you to stay in position and harder to break down. So there's that. There's times when we're behind and we're still passing in front where we need that extra quality to break apart, to break a team down. These are issues. We do have technical based players, but one thing I like is Luiz can play. He's not afraid to get the ball off of, what I like about Luiz is first and foremost ball playing. You saw there was, let's just put Leno here, there was moments Luiz is receiving it like the rest of our defence, and there was one nervy moment he played it across his goal and I was scared. But I like how Luiz is confident playing it between his members of the defence, obviously stepping out with the ball. And what I like the most, people, is if we remove Ceballos for a second, yeah, what I like the most, you can ignore all of these wingers, yeah. Let's just say Pepe, Lacazette, just because I want this to be Aubameyang and even be the other way around. Play the ball, like when they've made their run, Luiz is trying to hit them. Luiz is trying to hit it. He's trying to hit it into this space like you saw for Nelson. He's trying to hit it on the right hand side. Luiz is, that's what I feel we need, because I think it's remarkable that Aubameyang is a great goal scorer at Arsenal. Well, not remarkable, he's born to score goals and he's scored a remarkable amount of goals and he is quality. But it's even more remarkable when I feel there's not been a game that I can really play off the top of my head that we've played to Aubameyang's strengths. How many times, when you describe Aubameyang, people, tell me I'm lying, you think of goals, you think of pace. I lie, people. Obviously he has to change how he plays to the team, but I don't feel we play to his strengths. That's why I think it's even more remarkable that he scores all these goals, because we don't, how many times do we see a centre half just get out their feet and bang it into these spaces? You were seeing that. Pepe, obviously, just to highlight the point, when Pepe's up to speed, he's obviously a good dribbler. His is a bit different, but he'll provoke goal scoring opportunities a different way. Ceballos, similar to Luiz, was getting the ball and just hitting it. And if he wasn't doing that, he was going forward and linking up play with everybody and whatnot. And that's what I like to see that's what I was liking from Ceballos as well. I do think though, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but if we look, just to make it a bit more sense, if we bring Guendouzi and Willock a bit closer, yeah, what was you seeing, people? In real time, we was receiving the ball off the centre halves, but you were seeing Ceballos come in here. And that's lovely. I like to see he was receiving it off centre halves or taking it from deep and driving forward and going forward and picking out passes. I like that, people. But we've had Ozil in that role. I'm sure Ramsey's been there at times. There's been Mkhitaryan. Now there's Ceballos. It's lovely to see that. But if to play devil's advocate, people, you don't want your creative player in your own half, do you? It's nice to see him dropping here, but do you want him here? So it makes me wonder, offensively, we need to improve because we need to get more from our pivot. Why do all of our creative players always come deep to receive it consistently? I'm not saying don't do that. There's times you need to do that. But I just feel there's an issue to be had here because it can contains our creative midfielder receiving it off of any centre halves, and this, I mean centre mids, and this ain't a criticism of Willock or Guendouzi, because it could be Xhaka and Torreira. The same thing happens, receiving it, and then he needs to find options, and at times it's just been not Ceballos, because Ceballos was doing it, but at times they receive it, it's just sideways, it's just sideways, it's just backwards, it's just backwards, it's just backwards. Now if you can't go forward, don't go back, of course, but it's just this. And it's nothing passes really and truly with you people. So that's what I want to see improved to a greater standard. I don't want to lose this, so let's put that down. And one thing I'd say as well is I'm keen to see what centre-half pairings, because if we ignore, we're done with all of this, people. If we ignore all of this now and just look at centre-halves, Luiz was always going to play on the left-hand side with Socrates, because you see the difference. When Socrates is on this hand side, he's crippled in the sense that he can't play his full game because he's not the best receiver. He's a decent ball player, a better ball player than I thought when he came to this club. But he's not the best of ball players. He's uncomfortable receiving on his left hand side, and that's why you see him hoofing it or across the goal, or it goes back, or it's just we have no outball essentially. So that's one thing about Socrates. Obviously, I believe centre halves you should be able to play on any side, but that's why holding is good for Socrates, and Luiz is going to be good because Luiz is comfortable here. Luiz is obviously right-footed, but he'll receive it off his left and play it. Do you get it, people? So that would help them. So I'm keen to see how that one improves, because in terms of ball playing, Emre, that's central to how Emre likes to play. You'd probably think Holding and David Luiz would be it, because I think in terms of seniority, Holding's better on the right, of course, but Holding will probably occupy the left, and he's cool out there. It'd be these two. But obviously if it's Socrates, Luiz will be there. If it's Chambers, I'm not too sure. So I like what I see from Luiz, man. I like the ball playing. I like how he switched on defensively as well, because there was a ball over the top for Socrates, over Socrates' head. He swept that up. There was Leno switching off from a set piece. He swept that up. I just feel with Luiz, you probably just have to accept there's going to be a moment of madness. He might get a freak red card. He might be out of position. He might just have a clanger at times. But I like what I saw from Luiz. Definitely like what I saw from Ceballos with the distance covered and whatnot. But I do think offensively there are some works to be done with how we play. I feel first job for Emre is to improve us defensively, and that's the main factor. But offensively, in terms of general play, potentially I do think we sell ourselves short. But that's just my opinion as an honest football fan. On that note, I'm going to get out of here, people. So, in fact, before I go, people, sadly, Daniel Ballard is sadly, he's gone. You obviously know he's gone out on loan this season to go and play football, Swindon Town. He's sadly going to be out for 4 to 5 months. He suffered an injury. It's a kick in the teeth for young players, because he's had a couple of good seasons within the academy, part of the under-18s good FA Cup run. Had a good pairing with Medley last season for the 23s. Wanted to take that next step in his career and play senior football. He obviously scored against Chelsea's under 23s recently, a headed effort, and he's been getting a look in. And his progress for this season has been set back, because he's returning back to Arsenal for treatment and whatnot. He's going to be out for 5 months, so he's probably not going to be around and to go on loan until probably January now or so, unless he's poor. So his season starts again, and it's sad. Footballers are going to this is part and parcel of football. You're riding high in April, you're shot down in May, sort of thing. But it's a kick in the teeth for a young player, man, and especially one of the young players I feel is underrated. Keeping up in themes, apparently Saliba is going to be out for 6 weeks because he's having an operation on his adductor. I'm not too sure. I just saw that on French Football. Apparently that was in conjunction with Arsenal, so we obviously just signed for the club and had a medical. Clearly the club knew, Arsenal knew he was going to have a medical and whatnot. I mean, a medical. Clearly we knew in the medical that he would require surgery, so it's nice that he gets that out of the way and stuff like that. It's a shame he's going to be out, because I've been trying to watch St Etienne. I've been wondering why is he not involved and stuff like that. But it is what it is. On that note, though, I've offered enough opinions. Like I said, get well soon, Daniel Ballard, and that. Daniel Ballard, better yet. Well, I keep calling him Daniel like we're boys. On that note, people, Deluded, thank you for watching and rocking as usual.